Good afternoon everybody, it's Caroline here from Crafty Carly's Creations. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator and I'm based in central Scotland. I've come on today because last weekend the team that I'm a member of, Team Jazzle Dazzle, had a team retreat, which was amazing. It was such good fun and it's so lovely to be able to craft with people even if it is on Zoom. The project that I had to do for the team retreat was a showcase of one of the collections, or like a bundle or a suite from the new catalogue. So I chose to do it from the Elegantly Said bundle, which is this lovely stamp pad and the punch which goes along with it, which is this one here. And so what I'm going to do over the next couple of weeks is just go through the different projects that I worked on for that showcase and let everybody see how they were all made. I'm going to start off with this card that I made, which has a nice belly band around it, and it opens up, in theory, and it looks like this inside. It says, "All the things you do are simply amazing." So I made this and cased it from Heather Thomson, who is the Songbird Stamper, and I made a bit of a mistake. So I have since gone back and had a look at her instructions, and I have remade the card here again, which I've done just using white card, so basic white, and I've stamped on it, and some old DSP that I had lying about. So I have remade the card and made it properly. So it's very similar to what I've done, I just missed a couple of folds in my card. Alright folks, so I'll walk through it with you, and down below in the description box I will put all the measurements that you need, so you don't need to take any measurements down while we're working on it. You can just watch and see how it happens, and then get the measurements afterwards, and then if you need to rewatch the video, or if you're clever you'll be able to just go for it. So what I'm going to do is get a clean sheet of paper to start on, which I should have done before I started the video. Apologies. Okay, so you're going to need one piece of card, so any colour, it's up to you depending on what you want to do. I'm going to use this Misty Moonlight, just about forgot what it was there. So this is 8 inches by 6 inches. All my measurements are in inches. I do apologise for ladies who work in centimetres, but I just find inches easier. So 8 by 6, and we're going to do some scoring on that piece. And then you're also going to need 2 pieces of card that are 6 inches by 2 inches, so you need 2 pieces of that. You need 1 piece of card which is 2 inches by 6.5, which is this one here, which I've already scored, and I'll tell you about scoring in a second. And then you're going to need 4 pieces of card and 6 pieces of DSP, which are the same size. So I haven't done 4 pieces of card, I've only done 2 pieces of card, and then I've got the rest of my squares, so 1 7/8 by 1 7/8. I've done the rest of it in DSP, and I'm using old DSP because I'm just trying to use some stuff up just now, so apologies for that, but hey. You're going to need 2 pieces of DSP that are 1 7/8 by 5 7/8. So those 2 there, and you're going to need 4 pieces of DSP that are 1 7/8 by 15/16. So yeah, just almost shy of an inch. Okay, and you can, if you like, cut a piece of DSP to fit over the top of this. This is going to make your belly band for holding on to the card. So you would need a piece of DSP that was 1 7/8 by 6.5. I'm not going to cover that, I'm just going to put a stamp on the top of it, the same as I've done with this one, because I thought that was quite nice, but I did cover it with this one, so you can see and you can decide what you're going to do there. Okay, so let's start with that big piece. And you take your trimmer, and it's best working with the trimmer if you can, and you've got, a trimmer needs a good clean. You've got your scoring tool and your cutting tool, so you're going to need both of these. Okay, so we're going to take this and we're going to score it on the long side every 2 inches. careful and get your cutter out of the way, otherwise you'll end up doing what I usually do and cutting it instead of trimming it. So you want to score it 2 inches, 4 inches, and then at 6 inches. Heather made this look so easy, but as I say, the first couple of times I did it, I mucked it up. Then you're going to turn it round, and on the short side you're going to score it at 2, and then again at 4. Okay, so it should look something like that. So you should have lots of nice wee squares on it. Now what we're going to do is we are going to score these on either side. So the square at either side in the middle, on the long side, we're going to score them at 1 inch. So I find this easier to do by popping that in there, lining it all up, and taking my trimmer, or my scoring tool, and popping it down and getting it right onto one of the horizontal lines, and then scoring down to that mark there. One of the great things about the Stampin' Up! Trimmer, you can do that because you've got the wee score line here, and you can see that score line perfectly in the middle there. And we'll do the same on the other side. Pop that down and score. Alright, so now you can see that you've got a score line here and a score line here, and that's chopping those last 2 squares in half. Now we're going to turn our card round, so we're on the short side, and we're going to cut it from this line here to this line here, and from this line here to this line here. So it's the same principle, only instead of using the scoring tool, we're going to be using the cutting blade this time. So pop it right into the channel, your scoring line, and then take your cutting blade to the top and line it up with that line, and just run it all the way down to that bottom line. You can see the line that's been cut, and do the same with the other line. So we're starting up here again, and we're lining up with here and run it all the way down. I should have turned this round the other way. There we are. That's not quite as good as it could be, so I am going to just turn this round and just tidy that up. Just bear with me. There we go, that's better. Because if you haven't got it right, then your folds won't work. Right, so this is where I have to start thinking. And so we're going to start some folding. So this one we're going to fold in a valley fold, is that correct? And then like so. So that's your top line done. The next one, we want to fold this first one. So each of the first folds is a valley fold. No, that one's going to go that way. Because this has to be, no, I was right the first time around. See, this is where I get really confused. Not difficult. Okay, so that's them both folded, and this one is the same. This one is the same as the top one, and there we go. And you get your bone folder. Ooh, and give it a bit of a squish down, just to get all those lines in the right place and make sure I've got everything all nice. Right. Okay. Now the pieces that you cut that were the 2 pieces of card that are 6 inches by 2 inches, those are your strengthening pieces, and they are going to go on here just to strengthen the card. Alright, easiest way I have found to do that, and believe me, I've done this loads of times because I've made so many mistakes, is to just take the Tombow and run it on the actual card rather than on the panels. That way you'll miss out this bit here, which you don't want glue on. And then we stick that on. Wiggle it about a wee bit till we've got it straight. There were lots and lots and lots of fabulous projects in our team retreat at the weekend, and I just hope the girls put them all onto YouTube so that other people get to see them. Made some absolutely amazing things. A lovely money box, a real showstopper card, a book binding card, and a lovely card with a kind of lock mechanism. You know, each one I would be more than happy to give out, and that was just my first attempt at. Normally I need a couple of attempts at cards to have them looking anyways decent to give out. Okay, so now I've got that. That's the back of your card. This is the front. And that's looking nice and neat. So now we have to start decorating our cards. I'm just going to flatten it out a wee bit, and you can see we're still made up of squares, and we're going to be decorating each of the squares with one of our pieces of 1 7/8. These pieces here will go into these smaller panels. Like so. And then I've got a couple of pieces that they're just the blue, so I'm going to pop both of them in the middle there, I think. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use this stamp set, which is just one that's lying on my desk. It's not one that I've picked out especially for doing this, but it was one that I used the last time, and it's the Tasteful Touches stamp set, which I really like. I like this "You Are the Best." Love that sentence. I'm just going to pop that in the middle there. Oh, I always managed to get it nice and squint. And then this big flower, which I love. And we'll pop that in the middle there. For those of you who have watched any of my videos before, you'll know that I am training a guide dog puppy by the name of Jessie, who is now 17 weeks old. She's just turned 17 weeks old, and she had her first free run today. So that means that she's now able to go out and about and be off the lead for a wee while, and, you know, just have a bit of normal doggy time. So she's lying on the floor beside me, absolutely spark out. She's absolutely zonked. It's really hot here in central Scotland today, really humid. So she's a happy pup. You Are the Best. So you could put another sentiment on the belly band on the front, you know, like happy birthday, or, you know, a thank you or something. I think a thank you might be quite a nice thing to put on the front. And then I'm just going to stick all the rest of these pieces on here. And I've got another few. Let's see, I'm just using up some old DSP. Oh, got one bit too little, so I'll cut another piece of that. Oh, these are my two extra bits. Anyway, I'll sort that out. I've miscounted when I've been cutting out. It's not like me. So yeah, I managed to get 16 projects together for my showcase at the weekend. So you'll just have to bear with me while I go through each of the 16 projects. So I normally try and get a video out once a week on a Sunday evening usually. But for the next wee while you might be getting a wee bit more than just one video a week from me, because I think you'd be absolutely bored senseless if I was just, well, I'm saying that, I'm not just demonstrating the Elegantly Said. There will be a lot of Elegantly Said stuff demonstrated, because that was the stamp set I had to concentrate on for my showcase, but I'm sure, like this, I can use other stamp sets. So it was the first time I had done anything like that. I'd done plenty of make and takes, but the first time I'd done a showcase, and it was actually more difficult than I thought it would be, coming up with 16 projects all using the same stamp set. So it was a real challenge for me and took me completely out of my comfort zone, which is good. Yeah, and I made a lot of things that I'm really chuffed with, and also watched a lot of people that I'd never watched before on YouTube to get ideas. So as I say, tasted a few people's ideas, and I've taken some people's ideas and changed them about a wee bit, but I'll give them the credit for giving me the original idea. As I say, this one I cased from a lady called Shirley Thomson, who is the Songbird Stamper. I think that's right. And if you get a chance, have a look at her work. Her cards are amazing. She's another Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in the UK. I seem to end up watching a lot of American Stampin' Up! Demonstrators, and while their work's fabulous and the products are the same, I think we celebrate things just slightly different, so I like to support our UK demos as well. We also have quite a few demos in Europe, even within the same team as me. So my team leader is Jazzle Dazzle, so Janice Thomson from Jazzle Dazzle Crafts, and then her, further up the chain from her is the Poodlers team. So yeah, there's a lot of European ladies in that team. Even our own team, Jazzle Dazzles, are kind of all over the UK. We've got ladies way down south that were involved in our, both Gail, Ladonnya, Yvonne from down south were involved in Saturday's, Sunday's retreat. So yeah, if you get a chance, the Messy Craft Room is Gail's YouTube channel, and Ladonya's is Keep on Crafting with Ladonnya. I will definitely credit these ladies down below in the description box, because I really would like you to go onto their YouTube channels and have a look at some of the projects that they were working on, and the things that they created for the weekend, because they were just amazing. Okay, so these were the bits that were 5 7/8. Oh, Jessie, you've wakened up. Come to say hello. Hello, Jessie. So these were the 5 7/8 by 1 7/8 pieces, and they're going to go on to the strengthening pieces. So this is essentially the back of your card. The same with this. Ooh, come on, glue. What is it? Can you hear your brothers barking? Yes. I have 2 pet dogs as well, and they are in the house because they're not allowed out here in the cabin. She gets special dispensation because she's just a baby, because she's super cute. She comes out and she crafts with me. Well, actually, she usually empties the bin with me, don't you? You can hear your brothers barking, which probably means there's somebody at the front door. Okay, so that's kind of us finished. So that folds like so, and then we just have the belly band to make, and I have another piece to cut to go up there, which I will do in just a second. So here we have the belly band. Oh, I've stolen something out the bin, Jessie. And the belly band is 6.5 long by 2 inches wide, and it's scored at 2 inches, 2 1/4 inches, 4 1/4 and 4 1/2, and then you can fold it and burnish it, and it makes quite a cute little belly band. And as I say, you can either put a piece of DSP on the top, which would be 1 7/8 by 6.5 on top of that to cover it, or you can just do what I did the last time and stamp something here, so some sort of sentiment, And I think I'm going to look out a thank you sentiment and pop a thank you sentiment on there. The other thing I need to do before I put any of this away is cut out another piece. I think that's 1 7/8. Yes, by 1 7/8. There we go. That's got my other piece. Does anybody else get covered in Tombow when they're using it? I could almost stick my fingers together by the time I'm finished. And yes, I should use glue mat. I do have one lying about. I should use a glue mat when I'm gluing so that I don't end up with glue everywhere. So that will go there. Like so. I'm going to just glue this together. What was that you were stealing, madam? My bin's getting emptied at the moment. You can probably hear that under the table because I'm ignoring her. So she's chewing up some tissues and some wipes and wrappers of biscuits that I've had. Had a wee crafting session in here with a couple of friends yesterday, which was lovely. It's nice. The cabin's not huge, but I could get maybe 3 or 4 people in quite comfortably with COVID restrictions. So if you do fancy coming down and having, you know, a bit of a, you know, either a craft lesson, so, you know, tell me what you'd like to do and I'll arrange something like that, or if you want to just come down and have a play and use some stuff, then yeah, give me a shout, we can arrange that. So you slide the belly band on like that and voila, we have the card. Okay folks, that's project number 1 done. So I'll get a thank you stamp for the front of that, but other than that, those are 3 of them. One using Elegantly Said, one using just black and white and some spare DSP, and this one using some of the DSP that was available during the last celebration, and some of the Misty Moonlight, which was last year's in colours. You put me off, Jess, you put me off. Hey, can people see you? Can you see how cute you are? Hey? Right, ladies, gentlemen, whoever's watching, thank you very much for watching. I will leave you just now. You can let me know what you think. Please leave any comments down below if there's anything you want to see, or if you want to get in touch with me, you can get in touch with me via my YouTube channel or via my Facebook page or via my email, which is caroline@isdale.me. And I will see you again very soon. Thank you. Bye bye.